Hi, I'm Tony. Welcome to Sports Bike Shop's review of the AGV K7 helmet. I think AGV are on a bit of a roll, and this new for 2025 K7 keeps up that run of recent form. Having used one of these on the road for a few hundred miles, I think it's an impressive addition to the sports touring helmet category. So let's run through some essential details, and as we go through, I'll give you an idea of what this helmet's been like for me out on the road. The shell is made from a composite of fibres and it's got a smooth aerodynamic shape. I wore this on a naked Suzuki GSX-S 1000S and a half-fed Yamaha FZ1 Phaser, and I had no issues with turbulence or noise. Now, normal rules apply when it comes to noise. Noise depends as much on what you ride, how you ride it, and what you wear with it, as it does the helmet's shape and design. So just because this lid was quiet for me, it doesn't mean it will be quiet for you. This size medium K7 weighs in on our scales at 1,674 grams. That's consistent with similar lids like the HJC Alpha 71, Schubert S3 and Shoei GTR 3, which are all within 20 grams of this helmet either way. There's ventilation through 5 intakes and 3 outlets, which are just below the rear spoiler. Then grooves in the EPS impact liner channel air from the intakes to the outlets. There are also holes in the crown padding that allow air to flow from the front to the rear. Opening the chin slider reveals holes in the corner of each vent, which then direct air through the chin bar to your face. These looked like they'd make very little difference, but I was wrong. There are 2 strong jets of air that come through here, and the ventilation there works very well. Up top, the central slider allows in cooling air, and it's very effective. Then there are sliders on either side, and I've got to admit these had a less noticeable effect. I'm sure they are working, but it is more low-key than the other vents. Overall though, I'd say ventilation was good on the 2 bikes that I rode while testing this lid. But you do need to fit the supplied chin curtain to be able to feel that ventilation working. This is an accessory that comes in the box, and if you don't fit it, you'll just have air swirling in through the chin bar and you won't feel the vents working. Right, onto the visor, which I found to be very effective. It's pretty simple to change, and it lowers in 6 steps before reaching a cracked position. If you push gently enough, then that metal loop will secure into the clasp, giving you a locked, cracked position. One more push, and then it locks down completely. And then if you push the button underneath, that releases the lock, so you can raise the visor again. Now, I found the visor would hold both in its cracked position at motorway speeds, even if it wasn't locked in place with the loop, and it also stayed in all of the intermediate positions. So this is a good helmet, I think, for people who want to ride with the visor partially open. The top grade Pinlock 120 prevents visor misting, and that insert covers a wide area of the visor. AGV make a big deal of the peripheral vision qualities of the K7, and I'd agree that it offers a good view of what's around you. There's also a sun visor. The slider for it is on the lower left rim, and there are 2 drop levels. If you give it a normal push, then it drops by the regular amount, then give it an extra shove, and you'll see if the visor will drop a bit more without clipping the end of your nose. This gives a decent amount of coverage and tint for me, but it doesn't have an anti-fog coating, so I would expect to have some misting issues in winter. Right, let's move inside. The comfort liner follows AGV's style of using a smooth, cool-feeling fabric to cover the cheek pads, which does help when you're putting the lid on and when you're taking it off again. The skull pad around the top then uses a grippier brushed fabric to help the helmet stay securely on your head. There are sections at the top of the cheek pads, and they allow spectacle arms to slide through, and I found it easy enough to fit my own glasses into this lid. And now also remember there's a chin curtain in the box, and that will reduce the amount of air in the lid and will also cut down on noise as well. The strap fastener for the lid is a micrometric quick release buckle. Now personally I think D-rings would better suit the overall feel of the lid, but most of its rival lids have micrometric fasteners, so I can see why AGV chose to fit that. There's space inside for intercom speakers, and they are very generous recesses. They swallow the biggest speakers that we carry at Sports Bike Shop. They're the 45mm Cardo speakers, and the K7 is prepped for AGV's inside comms package, which uses Cardo mesh tech and integrates seamlessly into the helmet. I've used the inside in AGV's Tour modular helmet, and I found it a very good performer, so I'm sure it'd be a very decent option in the K7. Now, if you want an off-the-shelf intercom instead, you might have a little bit of a puzzle to solve. The rim edge around here is too broad for a clip mount, and the shell contours don't leave a flat area for a self-adhesive mount plate. You might just about get away with it if you've got a mounting plate that has a small footprint. Okay, so let's move on. Sizing, approvals and price. The K7 comes in sizes from extra small to XXL, which covers 53 centimeters up to 63 centimeters. There are 3 shell sizes. The smallest shell covers lid sizes extra small and small. Medium has a shell to itself, and then large and upwards go in the biggest of the 3 shells. I found sizing to be consistent with other brands. I wore a medium, as I do in the vast majority of helmets. It is quite a compact lid, so I didn't have loads and loads of room inside, but it was spacious enough, and a compact lid is a good thing for weight, for aerodynamics and for noise. Now, some people want me to talk about head shape, so I'll do my best. AGV don't help much here because they don't specify the ideal shape of head to fit inside this. My head is a round shape and I found the fit to be good, but my suggestion would always be the same. Try helmets for yourself and see if they work. It's easy to get focused on our head shape and thinking we need to restrict ourselves to what we're told will work for us. Just try some on, regardless of what you're told about the internal shape of the helmet, and see how they fit. You might be surprised. Right, approvals. The K7 is approved to ECE 2206 for the road, and AGV makes some bold claims about the safety performance and how it exceeds minimum levels. I'll give them credit there, as most manufacturers are reluctant to talk about safety at all, and it shows that such things do matter to AGV. We'll get more of an idea on that if and when the UK government's Sharp Impact Testing Scheme releases a rating for the K7. The only two ECE 2206 AGVs that have been tested by Sharp as we record this video have both got the maximum 5 stars. Now, riders who want to use the K7 on track will be pleased to see this. It's the ACU Gold sticker, and that clears it for use on track days and racing. Pricing, this plain white option has a list price of $379.99 as we record this. It's another tenner if you want the other plain colours, and graphics cost $449.99 as we record this. That compares favourably with other similar lids. The Shoei GTR 3, the Schubert S3 and HJC's Alpha 71 all have a higher list price, though you might get older designs of those helmets for less than this one. The other lid that I think is similar in style is the Shark Spartan GT Pro. Again, that is a little bit dearer than the K7. Okay, to sum up, the new K7 is a good performer, and I can't think of very much at all that's worthy of criticism. Build quality is high inside and out, ventilation is effective once you fit the chin curtain, and the visor operation and peripheral vision are strong as well. I think this K7 is another very solid option from AGV. I hope that tells you everything you wanted to know about the AGV K7, but if there isn't a thing you'd like to ask or to add, then please pop a comment below. Thanks for watching.